Okay, we're back with part 2 of the shoe. I had to actually pull the back off and reposition it because I really didn't have it centered up. That's why it was coming so close to the front. So you might want to actually mark that if you want to get it even better. But that's the base part of the shoe. And I forgot to tell you that I actually took this script stamp and some Tattered Rose Distress ink, and I inked that up and stamped the front of the shoe to give it some just a little pattern on it. And thicker paper definitely works better for making these. You don't want to do it with thin paper. The one I made for Rena, I actually used a piece of GCD paper that was, it's really cool. It's like linen. There's a linen feel to it. But this is just some thick cardstock. But for the decoration on the toe on this one, I want to use some lace. And I didn't do this on this shoe, and I wish I had have, because I had to kind of pull the seam apart to tuck the ribbon underneath there. But I'm going to go ahead and do that now while I have it sitting here. And I'm just going to tack this across the toe of the shoe like this. I think I'm going to use some hot glue for this. For time's sake, I might have used some Fabri-Tac otherwise, but for right now I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball about where I want to put it on there. And I'm going to tack it under on the edge right there with a little more hot glue. Come on, glue gun. Okay. I'm not going to leave that whole chunk under there. I'm going to trim it off. I'm just going to tack it for right now. You learn all these extra little things after you've made one that you could have done easier or better the first time. So try to remember as many of those things as I can to tell you guys. But tacking this under before you put the bottom of the shoe on will definitely be helpful. I'm just going to trim this extra off. Okay. So now I have my lace on the toe. And I also took some get off, vintage seam binding, and I made a bow, and that's what I'm going to put on the toe of this shoe. And I'm going to put a little hot glue on here too. Pop that on there. Love hot glue, but it is so stringy. It gets everywhere. For the back, I also want to use some of that vintage seam binding. And the end of one of my pieces was so nice to be already folded in half for me. And I think I'm just going to put some Fabri-Tac on here and run it around the back edge of the shoe, if it will cooperate with me. And just run it all the way around for a little extra. To the back. On the other shoe I used some trim and some pearl trim on top of that. And this is probably not going to want to cooperate with me because I'm trying to do it on camera. I know you ladies all know how that works. So I'm actually not going to do this whole thing. But you get the point. That I'm going to put that around the back edge. I made a flower. The bottom part of it is made using Jules' technique. for making the little knockoff Prima baby roses. And then I actually stuck a little Prima pre-made one already in the center. But I'm going to pop that in the center of that bow. And I also have some little white Primas that I'm going to add to that. I'm going to stick with the hot glue. But you can decorate these any way you want to. I had a really pretty cameo that I thought about putting on there. You could do that. I like the little roses. Pop another one of these on here. They can really be decorated any way you want. I should have put some pearl stuff on here before I glued it. I might go back and add some of that too. Definitely. So I can tack some in there. But you can see the possibilities are endless. And like I said, if you go to her blog, and she has a video on the shoe as she's making one, and she shows you how you can put the heel on it, or you can leave it flat like this. You can actually turn this part upside down and make it look like a fancy slipper, house slipper type shoe. If you put it into Google and just look on the internet, you can find some awesome projects that people have made using the shoe pattern. And I know we got a lot of imaginative people out there that can come up with some really cool stuff. And I'm going to have a ton of strings to pull off of this thing. But you get the point. I'm not going to finish decorating it now. I'll do it later, and probably post some pictures on my blog after it's done and I've cleaned up all the strings and everything. But I think I've basically told you the hardest part, how to do it. After you get everything put on there, then you would peel this part off, like I said, and that would be the base of your shoe. And you can see by looking at it that there's a little bit of extra on that side that can be trimmed off, and there's probably going to be a little bit extra around the back, but better safe than sorry with a little bit of extra than it being too short. And basically that's how you make the shoe. If you want to make it a heel, she'll show you on her video these lines on the pattern. You will score on the bottom parts of your shoe, and then you'll fold them. And actually that one will go down and that one will go up, and it'll give you a little bit of a rise to the back of the shoe that you can put oh gosh, I've seen all kind of things. What I used was like a little wooden cup looking thing. You can find all kind of stuff like that at Michael's. They have different shapes and whatnot that you could use. But that's how you make the shoe. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I don't mind helping you out. So that's it. Talk to you later. Bye.